Hey everybody, it's Kim at Good Vibe Astrology, and today I want us to open into a beautiful 2020, a new decade, a new year, new numbers. It just feels so exciting to me. The big thing I think that we need to do first is just take a moment to look at the timing of what's going on, because a lot of people will spend December kind of scrambling because it's often a time that's a little chaotic. It's hard to keep everything under control. It's a little out of control time, family time, button pushing time, maybe. It brings stuff up, which we know contrast is what leads to our next big thing. So it's a perfect timing. Stir it up, push the buttons, then burst into the new year with fresh intentions. But this year it's a little different because we have an eclipse, and you can see that this solar eclipse is December 26th. That is when you set your intentions. Don't wait for New Year. And that means we're wrapping up, we're looking back on 2019 now. This is my idea about how to just reflect on 2019, feel a sense of completion and wrapping up, especially during the dark moon, like after 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and feel a kind of a completion. And my way is going to be to bless it, to think of the things that were real blessings and appreciate what it was, as opposed to dwell on what went wrong. I don't recommend doing that, but it's just a little reminder to take a moment and reflect with intentions of well-being and blessing. And it's like repaving or just identifying the good stuff. Plan to, and I'm going to use this word plan a lot because half the solar system is in Capricorn. If you want to get in alignment, make a plan. Shift your timing for setting intentions to 6 days before the new year. Bless and appreciate the previous year and make a plan. That's pretty much the gist of the whole thing. To add to that, I am trusting that circumstances that seemed like contrast, that seemed like, oh, this is going pear-shaped, this is going wrong, and maybe I yet don't have enough perspective to see where that led into something that felt really good or even better, or how it shaped me for the next big thing. I may not see that. And you know what? I'm just going to bless them anyway.
It's actually something I had in mind as well, Kim, where I thought that one of the best ways to get lined up for a fabulous new year is to just really immerse myself in enjoyment of this year rather than trying to spend these last couple weeks of 2019 trying to get prep. Just enjoy it instead of, like you said, it can be really easy to not enjoy this time of year. And just to make that conscious commitment to it, to find some satisfaction in it and appreciation in itself would do wonders for my alignment in beginning a new decade.
That's it. It can be that simple.
I think it's really easy for us to focus on what we want to be different. You know, as we start something new, it's like, oh, well, this thing had better change. And that's not the best energy you want to start a new year with. So that exercise of focusing on what went right, what's to celebrate, what we're proud of, what we love about how we conducted ourselves or how we felt, that is also a big vibration shifter so that we begin the new year with alignment instead of angsting for change.
If we were writing this, I would put that in bold, right? Underline it or make it a larger font. Except I would say instead of New Year, I would say the 26th, the time of the eclipse, the solar eclipse, because for our astrological New Year, it begins with that eclipse. And because that eclipse and half the solar system is in Capricorn right now, begin that list of appreciation with your houses, is usually more than one, that contains the degrees of Capricorn. Another exercise you can do is go right around your chart, start with Aries, wherever Aries is, and just start appreciating one thing for each house in your chart. So it's just so simple, yet are we taking the time to do that? And that can be taking 5 minutes to give one thing to appreciate about every area of your life by going around your chart. Those three things, looking at Capricorn in your natal chart, the tropical, looking at Capricorn in the solar chart, what house is that? And then using the chart as this kind of inspiration wheel to appreciate every area of life. And then, okay, number 4, on the eclipse, eclipse or in the days after, just spend 5 minutes and go through each house and see it how you want it to be. Okay, so just a few ideas about eclipses. They usually last until the corresponding solar eclipse in the opposite sign, so it's about 6 months. So we've got till June, what is it, June 21st, we have a solar eclipse at 0 Cancer, the opposite of Capricorn. So think in terms, I know I've talked a lot about your Capricorn house and focus there, but it's always a dynamic. It's what Abe calls two ends of the same stick. Don't leave your Cancer house behind. You got to think of how it plays into it. So it's not just, if it's on the ascendant, it's not just self, it's others. And of course, there is always that balance between, am I for myself? How much do I give to other people? If it's your 10th house and 4th house, it's all about thinking of the Libras. And for every Libra, it's going to be your 10th and 4th as well in the solar chart. It's not how much time do I spend in my home, in my family, with my loved ones versus how much energy do I put into my career and out there, the yang side of my life. These are just basic interpretations, but you can go deeper, of course. 6th and 12th house, how much time do I put into my body, diet, nutrition, exercise, my daily routine, and how much time do I go into the 12th house where I muse, I meditate, I dream, I daydream, I drift. I let myself drift into the field of infinite possibilities. It's the 6th and 12th is so interesting because the 12th is like the wave before it collapses, and the 6th is very much collapsing that wave, that Virgo Pisces opposition. So there is no manifesting without the 12th house. We just don't know how to talk about it properly. But if you've got
that actually helps. The wave of possibilities actually helps me be willing to look at 12 more so than just throw my hands up and walk away.
Yeah. Well, you know that thing about supersizing, making that with Jupiter there, especially now fresh into Capricorn and Jupiter going to be conjunct the eclipse on the 26th. When you set your intention, set it, look at it, then make it 3 times bigger.
Wow. That's cool, Kim.
That was the other tip. Think if we can just get in that space, 5 minutes. Spend 5 minutes, just look at your chart and bless each house, bless each event. Yeah, it just, I can just feel it already. Just doing it here, thinking about it with you guys. It sets us up for a beautiful new decade. Happy New Year, happy eclipse. See you on the forum and see you next year too. Okay, big love everyone.